Unfortunately for Tommy, he was so distracted while thinking about how cool and right he was all the time that he didn't notice the shadowy figure lurking in the alleyway he was passing by. A hand wrapped around his arm and yanked him into the alley. He opened his mouth to scream, but a second hand slammed over it before he could make a peep. Tommy screamed behind the hand, squirming against the iron grip pinning him to the wall. "Shut up, gremlin child, it's just me," a familiar voice hissed from the shadows. Tommy's eyes widened as his vision adjusted to the gloom, and he was able to make out a familiar blue mask covering the upper half of a man's face. A rock dropped in his gut. Siren. "I'm going to drop my hand now, and you're not going to scream because I'm not here to hurt you, got it?" Siren asked, and even though he couldn't see his eyes, Tommy could feel his intense stare. Tommy nodded as best he could against the wall. Siren loosened the grip on his arm and dropped the hand from his mouth. "What the fuck?" Tommy shouted as soon as his mouth was free. "Who the hell do you think you are, just grabbing a guy off the street and pulling him into a fucking alley like a goddamn creep?" The hand slammed over his mouth again. "I said no screaming," Siren repeated. Huffing, Tommy stopped squirming against the hand. He raised an eyebrow at Siren, and after a few beats of silence, Siren dropped the hand once more. "I wasn't screaming, dickhead. I was yelling at you for scaring the shit out of me," Tommy snapped in a much lower voice this time. "Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you," Siren said, actually sounding kind of embarrassed. That was weird. Getting an apology from a supervillain just felt wrong. But hey, Tommy would take it. "Then why did you decide to just grab me and shove me in an alley like a goddamn kidnapper?" Tommy hissed. "I don't know how else to get you in a private place to talk. In case you haven't realized, I can't exactly just come up to you on the street," Siren explained, gesturing wildly with his hands. "So what, you're just waiting in the dark on the off chance I'd walk by this place?" Tommy asked, glancing around the alley and realizing it was the same one he'd found Siren in a week before. Siren at least had the self-awareness to look embarrassed. Yeah, pretty much." "And you want me to think you're not a creep?" Tommy questioned, raising an eyebrow again. "Because that's pretty fucking weird, champ."